Have you ever felt like your life was already planned before you were even born? That your family, relationships, and even your struggles were not random, but part of a greater design? The truth is, your soul made crucial choices before coming into this life, and understanding them can completely change how you see your existence. How did your soul decide your journey? What role does karma play? And most importantly, can you change your destiny? Stay with me until the end, because today we're uncovering the hidden blueprint of your life before birth. And trust me, this will shift your perspective forever. And before we dive in, make sure to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on more deep spiritual insights. Karma is not just a simple cause and effect rule. It's a sophisticated system that shapes the choices of a soul before incarnation. Think of it as an energetic balance sheet, accumulated over multiple lifetimes, influencing where you are born, who you meet, and the challenges you face. If you've caused harm in past lives, you might choose to experience similar struggles to restore balance, not as punishment, but as an opportunity to grow. Your soul designs scenarios and connections that allow it to learn, evolve, and settle. Past debts. Family is never random. The parents you are born to, the siblings you interact with, and even the generational patterns you inherit are all part of a greater karmic plan. You might choose strict parents to learn patience, siblings who test your boundaries to develop resilience, or a loving home to finally experience the nurturing you once denied others. Ever felt like you were born into the wrong family? This could be your soul deliberately placing you in a setting that forces you to overcome deep-rooted karmic lessons. Those who continuously find themselves in toxic family dynamics may be caught in a cycle that remains unresolved across lifetimes. Love is another powerful realm where karma plays a defining role. Have you ever met someone and instantly felt a strong connection, either overwhelmingly positive or deeply unsettling? These soul contracts are often tied to past life experiences. Sometimes people come into our lives to help us heal, while others arrive to challenge and transform us. Soulmates aren't always meant to stay forever. They can enter, teach a profound lesson, and then leave once the karma between you has been balanced. And then there are twin flames, relationships that push both souls toward higher self-awareness, often through intense struggles and emotional tests. Even your career is influenced by karmic choices. Some souls choose careers that allow them to correct past life misuses of power. A former corrupt leader might return as a humanitarian. A healer from ancient times might reincarnate as a modern doctor. Feeling lost in your career? It might be a sign that you haven't yet aligned with your soul's intended mission. When your work resonates with your higher purpose, a sense of fulfillment replaces frustration, and opportunities seem to flow effortlessly. The key is tuning in to what truly ignites passion and serves a greater good. The good news? Karma is not set in stone. While your soul may have chosen certain challenges, you still have free will to shift your path. Recognizing recurring patterns in relationships, emotions, and struggles gives you the power to break them. If you're stuck in cycles of conflict, bitterness, or financial hardship, it's a sign that the lesson remains unlearned. But once you consciously choose to respond differently, to forgive instead of retaliate, to let go instead of cling, you change the trajectory of your spiritual journey. Understanding karma allows you to approach life with greater awareness and intention. Nothing is truly accidental. Every person you meet, every challenge you face, every triumph and heartbreak, it's all part of a script your soul co-wrote before arriving here. But what about those who are experiencing their very first incarnation on Earth? How do their challenges differ? A soul's first incarnation on Earth is unlike any other experience. Imagine stepping into an entirely new dimension, unfamiliar with its rules, emotions, and limitations. Unlike souls who have lived countless lifetimes, first-time incarnates have no past karma binding them, yet they still face unique struggles. Many feel like outsiders, disconnected from human traditions and societal norms because they are experiencing everything for the very first time. This sense of alienation can manifest as deep sensitivity, an overwhelming curiosity, or even a subconscious longing to return home to a place they can't quite remember. Choosing a first family is a major decision for these souls. Unlike older souls who may select families based on karmic debts, first-time souls pick environments that help them understand fundamental human lessons. Some may choose loving, supportive families to ease their transition into physical existence, while others might intentionally opt for difficult circumstances to accelerate their learning. Have you ever met someone who seems incredibly pure, yet was born into a chaotic or even abusive home? This may be a first-time soul undergoing rapid, intense growth in its first human experience. Romantic relationships can also be a challenge. Since these souls have no past life relationship patterns, they tend to experience love in a very raw, unfiltered way, often with childlike idealism. They might fall deeply in love, assuming it will last forever, only to be devastated when human complexities arise. Their first soulmate connection can be especially intense, as they have no previous heartbreak to compare it to. Unlike experienced souls who recognize love as both a gift and a lesson, first-time incarnates may struggle with emotional resilience, learning through trial and error. Another struggle for first-time souls is finding purpose. Unlike older souls, who often carry past life knowledge and skills into new incarnations, these souls arrive as blank slates. They may feel lost, unsure of why they are here, or what they should do with their lives. They often gravitate toward creative or humanitarian fields, drawn to art, music, nature, or spiritual exploration. However, without a clear past life influence guiding them, they might spend years or even decades searching for meaning, questioning whether they belong here at all. The ultimate challenge for first-time souls is mastering the duality of the human experience, love and loss, joy and pain, material and spiritual. They are learning how to navigate ego versus soul, struggling to balance their higher consciousness with the physical world's demands. Unlike old souls, who have learned to detach from materialism and external validation, first-time souls often get caught up in the illusion of status, success, and identity. This phase of their journey is crucial because it determines whether they will continue reincarnating for further lessons or evolve more rapidly, and what happens after their first life ends. How does a soul decide what comes next? Do they immediately return, or do they take time to reflect and plan? Death is not the end. It's simply a transition into another phase of existence. When a soul leaves the physical body, it enters a state of deep reflection, reviewing the life it just lived. This life review is not about judgment or punishment, but about understanding. The soul experiences everything it did, not only from its own perspective, but also from the viewpoint of others. If it caused pain, it feels that pain. If it spread love, it feels that love. This process allows the soul to see how every choice, big or small, rippled through the lives of others. After reviewing its experiences, the soul reaches a decision point. What's next? Some souls choose to reincarnate quickly, feeling an urgency to correct mistakes or continue unfinished lessons. Others take time to rest in higher spiritual realms, reflecting and gathering wisdom before returning. Advanced souls, who have already mastered many aspects of human experience, may choose not to reincarnate at all, instead becoming spiritual guides for those still on Earth. Have you ever felt a strong, invisible presence guiding you? That could be a soul that has chosen to assist from beyond, rather than return to the physical world. One of the most significant choices a soul makes before its next incarnation is selecting its new family. If there are unresolved karmic ties, it may choose to be reborn into the same soul group. sometimes switching roles. A former parent might become a child, a past lover might return as a sibling, or an old rival might come back as a close friend. These decisions are made based on what will offer the most growth. In other cases, a soul might choose an entirely new family, stepping into an environment that will provide fresh lessons and challenges. Beyond family, the soul also decides on its relationships and purpose. If two souls have unfinished business, they may plan to meet again in the next life, whether as lovers, friends, or even adversaries. Some relationships are designed to last a lifetime, while others serve as brief but transformative experiences. The soul also sets intentions for its career and spiritual path, choosing professions that will either challenge it in new ways or continue a mission from a previous lifetime. Ever felt drawn to a certain career or passion from a young age? It might be because your soul already decided on that path before you were even born. But not every soul has to come back. Some reach a point where they can break free from the cycle of reincarnation altogether. What does it take to achieve that? How can someone transcend this cycle and reach a higher state of existence? Many spiritual traditions teach that the ultimate goal of the soul is liberation from the cycle of reincarnation. But how does one achieve that? The reason souls continue to return to Earth is because of unfinished lessons, attachments, and karmic debts. Every lifetime is an opportunity to evolve, but if a soul remains stuck in patterns of fear, attachment, or unresolved emotions, it will be drawn back to another incarnation to complete those lessons. Breaking free requires reaching a higher state of consciousness, one where the soul no longer needs to reincarnate to grow. The first key to liberation is self-awareness. Most people live on autopilot, reacting to life instead of consciously shaping it. Souls that awaken to their true nature, beyond their physical body, beyond their identity, begin to transcend the need for earthly experiences. This means recognizing that everything happening around you is a mirror of what's within. Ever noticed how certain challenges keep repeating in your life? That's a sign of an unresolved lesson. The moment you consciously break a cycle, you no longer need to relive it. The second key is detachment. This doesn't mean rejecting the world, but rather learning to experience life without being controlled by it. Many souls return because they are still tied to people, possessions, emotions, or even desires for revenge, status, or validation. True detachment is loving without clinging, giving without expecting, and living without fear of loss. When a soul reaches a state of deep inner peace, where external circumstances no longer dictate its happiness, it moves closer to breaking free from reincarnation. Another crucial factor is mastering love and compassion. Souls that hold on to anger, resentment, or judgment stay trapped in the lower vibrations of existence. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful tools for ascension. It doesn't mean excusing harm, but rather releasing the energetic chains that keep you bound to it. Some of the most evolved souls were once those who suffered deeply, but instead of becoming bitter, they transformed pain into wisdom and unconditional love. This shift in perception is what separates those who return from those who transcend. Finally, awakening to unity consciousness is the last step. Most souls return because they still see themselves as separate from the whole, trapped in the illusion of self versus others. When a soul realizes that all beings, all experiences, and all lifetimes are interconnected, it reaches a state of enlightenment. This level of awareness dissolves the need for further earthly lessons, allowing the soul to move into higher planes of existence, beyond the physical realm, beyond suffering, beyond rebirth. But here's the real question. If given the choice, would you want to leave this cycle? Or do you still feel there's something unfinished in this life? Think deeply, because the answer might reveal more about your spiritual journey than you realize. Now that you know how your soul designed this life before birth, the real question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you keep repeating the same patterns, or will you take control and shape your destiny consciously? Remember, your current challenges are not punishments. They are lessons carefully chosen to help you evolve. But how you respond to them, that's entirely up to you. So, do you feel like you're on the right path? Or is there something you need to change? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more mind-expanding content. See you in the next one.